I consider the loss we have of natural resources, the loss of wilderness, the loss of species on this planet that we experience because we are much more and more people on this planet. We have experienced a real loss over the last 40 years, and that for me is the biggest problem we are facing. Me coming from Africa, you can see it most prominently in the loss we had with rhinos. The elephants are vanishing very rapidly, and we are also seeing that some of these protected areas that were established don't get enough support, so they are silently vanishing. So this is always all quite frightening that this is happening, and we have to do something about it. Well, basically I have been working with all my colleagues in Africa. This is not me alone, obviously that is a joint effort for all my colleagues, trying to support the National Parks Authority, the people that look after these national parks. We were trying to introduce a better kind of management where we include people into the management of these areas, because we found that people are not just the problem, the people are also part of the solution. So we have developed different kind of models, how we can involve people into the management of the national park so they feel more responsible and are looking after their resources. I think we all have to be aware what's happening. I mean, that we are, a very recent study from World Wildlife Fund has shown that in the last 40 years on this planet we lost half of all wildlife. We have to be very aware of this, but what I think is important, we should not get too pessimistic about it, because we have to be positive, we have to be optimistic, because I think we can actually, all of us, make a change. If we are aware of it, if we are looking that the consumers, for example, from ivory are being stopped, that we are looking after our nature better, and that everybody can do from their kind of positive. But I think if you want to change the world, and if you want to achieve a more positive world, I think we need to keep optimistic and looking forward. Well, there's different kind of levels, of course. In Africa, I think when we look at how much we are losing elephants or rhinos, this is a fight that cannot be won in the field, because these areas are huge and you cannot protect them with enough police force. So we need to look at the trade, and we need to look at the consumer. It is basically the consumer who is deciding whether these animals will survive in the future. And we saw that in the past. The consumer decided to not buy any more striped fur from tigers or from leopards, and that really changed the conservation status of these animals. It's not the ranger who is risking his life in the field to protect them. In the end, it's us, it's the consumer that has to change. And if we can kind of get that to everybody, and young people can help to, young people can help to influence their parents' kind of vision on that as well. So we have to make sure that the consumer of wildlife products can be educated. And that is something everybody of us can do. But we can also look around everybody's life, We have to change. We eat too much meat in this planet. We still use endangered animals for food. We use too much water, and everybody can, on their little place, can help to make this planet some place where in the future also our children will be living in harmony with nature. Well, children are the hope of the future. It's not our generation. Unfortunately, it is our generation that it gets a prize like this, but it is the children which are the hope of the future. They will have to do the decision making, they will have to decide, but we, as the older generation, have to make sure that the resources are still there for them to make this decision. If we destroy our planet, our children don't even have a say in it. And I think we have to make sure they have the tools so they can make their own decisions in the future. Thank you very much.